There are several brands of vegetable oil in Nigerian markets with endorsement from various government and even non-government agencies. While some Nigerians may now ask which will serve them best, one common thread with them is the consciousness to health and hygiene. The agency takes its responsibility a step further and undertakes random checks of branded products in the market. A team led by Mrs. Oluyemisi Odofin from Central Laboratory Oshodi has on this occasion decided to work in Mushi Market in Lagos for a retail surveillance test for vitamin A. The World Organization has shown that the deficiency of vitamin A is the leading cause of preventable childhood blindness and increases the risk of death from common childhood illnesses such as diarrhea. Consequently, the organization has declared vitamins A deficiency a public health problem affecting about 1/3 of children aged between 6 to 59 months in 2013, with the highest rate in sub-Saharan Africa at 48%. Following this, the federal government has chosen some necessary food items as vehicles of vitamin A to Nigerians, and vegetable oil is one of those. It is the responsibility of NAFDAC to ensure that the policy is implemented through exercises like this.
When we come into the market, we bought lasses, Activa vegetable oil, power oil, and we check the batch number, the NAFDAC registration number given to the samples, and the manufacturer's day and the manufacturer's name and address, so that we know that we are buying from a registered factory that produces these products. We inject the oil into the reagent vial.
NAFDAC requires that each product contains at least 20,000 international units per kilogram of the oil.
The level of vitamin A,
power oil, emperor and other samples were put through the same process and all declared fortified and good for consumption.
Yes, so it's fortified.
With the eyes of various government agencies on makers of vegetable oil in Nigeria, they have no choice but to be on their toes. For instance, when the raw material is palm fruit, which is locally sourced, the process has to be devoid of chemicals to make the product as natural and healthy as possible.
The process of getting olein from crude palm oil is a physical process. Just physical purification, it's physical process. No chemical is being added to it. It's being processed through silica, which absorbs all the impurities and the color pigment from the crude palm oil. No chemical process undergone through the process. To start from the crude palm oil, you subject to refinery process. Through refinery process, through physical process, whereby you remove the impurities and the red color pigment from it. After you remove the removal of the red pigment, so you get RBDO, that's refined bleached deodorant palm oil, and pure fatty acid. The pure fatty acid distillate is not good for consumption, but the refined bleached deodorant RBDO oil is the one that you further process through fractionation to get olein and stearin. The olein is the one you package into different SK into different sizes for consumption, home consumption, while the stearin part of it is being used by the other industry for other purposes.
Hygienic production environment is also of top priority. The environment, tanks and even personnel must meet up with government requirements, and beyond that, visitors to the factory have been factored in.
When you are going to the packaging section, you have to ensure that all the things that are coming from outside, you clean your hands, you wash your hands, you cover your clothes. You know, contamination can come from anywhere. It can come from the ring grease. So all these things need to be removed before you enter the production or the packaging section to ensure that when you enter the production, or you are free of impurities, you are free of cross-contamination.
Maybe I want to see this side.
There are others who use soya beans for production. The issue of health and hygiene is not taken lightly there, and this is made easier with a less manual and more mechanical process, which allows minimal human interaction with the crop up to the finished product stage. Mr. Meigoro promises that his members are compelled to keep up to the standards.
There are external and internal control that we have. External in the sense that we have NAFDA, we have SON. They are checking what we are doing internally, and they have do their visit regularly to make sure that, and we always give them cooperation to make sure that, because we see them as partners, that we always look upon to correct where we are going wrong, so that we'll be able to always upscale our performance in terms of standards. And in terms of our association effort, we make sure that we bring on board members, practitioners that are not our members, so that we have a common ground, we educate ourselves, we enlighten ourselves, we also exchange ideas.
Branded vegetable oil also has the eyes of the Nigerian Heart Foundation, a non-profitable and non-governmental organization which promotes heart health, scientific research in cardiovascular health, and advocacy on heart issues. The Director of Communications, Mr. Dele Adetiba, talks on the steps taken before a product is endorsed by the foundation.
We would get the samples of the product and have them checked out and looked at by a nutrition committee, which is populated by quite a number of professors who spend their lifetime working on these matters, and they'll check certain parameters acceptable worldwide as to how heart-friendly the vegetable oil is. They look at for the cholesterol content, trans fats, saturated fats, and quite a number of other traces of things which would combine to make this heart-friendly or otherwise.
In the battle for market share between branded and unbranded vegetable oil, many issues come up. One of such is price.
Some people like cheap things, some people like costly. But now, oil is too cost. This vegetable oil now, since this week, it's very cost. When somebody come, you tell the person this one is 400, this one is 350. They will not buy that 350 oil.
The branded and the unbranded price, the price difference is very marginal, but the advantage of branded over the unbranded oil is very much too much compared to the marginal difference in pricing. Like the branded one, most especially the one that are fortified with vitamin A and free fatty acid and cholesterol, the health advantage you get from it is immeasurable.
Another is the age-long argument of the practice of older generations.
People who say, I've consumed this over the years, and our grandfathers, mothers were healthy. For a start, they ate fresh things, so there's a likelihood that they were healthier. Secondly, they didn't use preservatives, which would also amount to something with us. Thirdly, there is no deliberate tampering with the product which you have these days. In other words, you're adding certain things to the product which could alter the effect on the body.
The federal government of Nigeria, through its various agencies, is asking that citizens are more conscious and deliberate in making choices of consumables. The question of the worth of your health should be answered every time you are faced with the option of using branded or unbranded vegetable oil, with the risk of cancer and high cholesterol connected to the consumption of adulterated oil. And most of all, don't forget that your health is your most valued wealth. Thank you for watching. I'm Ini John Mekwa.